Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I'm on chess.com right now, and I'd like to share two endgame puzzles with you from Tactics Trainer. Both are white to move, and so as usual, feel free to treat this as a mini pop quiz. So if you'd like to, go ahead, pause the video, see if you can find the best continuation for white. Okay, the solution to this first one is to play rook to d4 on move 1. Let me just cover quickly one what if. Bishop e2 may be tempting on move 1, setting up a double checkmate. But black is on move, has a discovered check, and can next play king c5, and there isn't a good way forward for white. White can still pick up the queen, but by this point, white has to invest too much material. Black is winning this. So the key first move, as mentioned, is rook d4, king c5, and now a unique clearance tactic. Sacrificing the rook, rook takes d5, clearing the way for what? After pawn takes, as otherwise we pick up the queen. After pawn takes, we now have the move d4, controlling the dark square, controlling c5, and now regardless of where the king goes, king c6 runs into a skewer tactic, bishop e8, picking up the queen, or if the king goes in the other direction, similarly, we have bishop e2 now, picking up the queen. If this one was carried out a bit more, just to show, here's how you can convert this. White will be there in time to stop the b pawn, and soon run with the d pawn. So I thought that one was pretty neat. And also one more. This one right here. Once more, white to move. If you'd like to, go ahead, pause the video, see if you can find the best continuation. Okay. I really like this one. It's some unique features to this one, and at the very tail end of it, a nice practical tip regarding king and pawn endgames. So there is only one way to win this, and that is to start out with bishop to d3. Let me just once more cover a what if for this puzzle. If you try and take off with the pawn, the king steps off of e8, he approaches the pawn, he will be there in time to stop the pawn. Why did I draw some reference to the king stepping off of the e8 square? Well, the move bishop d3 looks to take advantage of the current king post. What is the idea? Well, there's one way that the rook can try to slip away, and that is by way of a6, let's say a1, and then get behind the pawn. But you can't do that just yet, because of bishop takes pawn with the fork, making use of the king position. Okay, but suppose black sees this and says, I'm not going to play rook a6 just yet. I'm going to get out of this little tactic and play king to f7. Now, what do we do? Well, we still capture the pawn. This is the key idea. This is a clever shot right here to take on b5. And what's the idea? After rook takes bishop, we're down pretty much a rook, but the rook is very short on squares. King c4, rook to b6, and now b5. The rook is stuck. The best that black can do is hunt down the h-pawn, but once we come over to a5, we're ready to win a free rook now, so black might as well grab a pawn. Rook takes, king takes, and who's going to win the race? Let's see. We arrive now at a very important point in king and pawn endgames, and that's this one right here, where we have an instance of fixed pawns, two fixed pawns, or what some may describe as a ram structure. White is on move, and it's extremely important you pick the correct square to go to when approaching the pawns. The correct idea, the only win in this position, is to play king c7, or in other words, to attack your opponent's pawn, but not defend your own pawn. This is very important. We want to attack our opponent's pawn and not defend our own pawn. Why is this important? Well, if we do both, if we attack our opponent's pawn and defend our own, after now king e5, we have to move away from defending our d5 pawn. Black picks up the pawn, black goes on to win. So tempi in king and pawn endgames, extremely important. Perfect example right here. King c7, king e5, and only now king c6. And it's black who has to move away from defending their own pawn. And white will go on to win. So nice little endgame tip regarding the king and pawn endgame positions in this puzzle. But overall, these were a couple neat endgame puzzles in my estimation. Feel free to share how you did with these two, as usual, in the comment section below. And I hope you got something out of it. That's all for now. Take care. Bye.